Today's topic, Buffett, we're talking about politics and anything else. Recently, we just had our national elections, and I want to know your thoughts on the national elections. And number two, while we are there, let's tap also on the coalition government. We know that ANC has lost the majority votes, and now there are talks of coalition governments. Aiseng, you want to tap in first?
Yeah.
I think it's the first time we talk about politics. My life.
So the spotlight is on me. Before we even go there, somebody that said to me, I must go vote. Jokingly, I wanted to vote for Freedom Front Plus. Personal reasons. I'm from Bloem.
Yeah.
And I could practice big Afrikaans. So no, I just wanted to do, and I did not register. So personally, I did not vote. But I got Tshepo and Motlatsi who voted for me. I think this has got to be the most interesting elections in the existence in the democratic country of South Africa, where we managed to see, especially the rise of MK.
Yeah.
You know, MK started not so long ago. So to see them receiving so much votes, especially from Natal and everywhere, that was interesting. I'm kind of disappointed with regards to EFF. I expected more based on the work they've been doing, the rallies, getting people to vote for them. From the country, as a law-abiding citizen, so to put it, I'm kind of happy that ANC lost majority of the votes. Honestly, I am happy.
Reason being?
Reason being, personally, ANC doesn't care about us as the citizens.
Yeah.
From services to corruption to everything that's happening in the country, load sheddings, it's not fair for us. And ANC, it's not really doing anything. But our old people still go and vote for ANC. So I would say I'm happy that they lost. Coalition. Not DA. No.
Why?
No, not DA. Not DA. This has nothing to do with race. But with DA, for me, it's like we are taking power back to the white people. With DA, literally, we are taking power back to the white people. And we are the majority in South Africa. So, not DA. I don't mind everybody else. Maybe Freedom Front Plus. But I don't mind everybody else. I don't mind everybody else, but not DA. That's how I feel about what is happening now. And then we'll get more details now.
Historically in South Africa, this is the fifth national election whereby black people, the majority of the people, which happens to be blacks, get to vote.
RM, check out Azamwa Wadira Ofona, Michael, someone.
Nah.
Who on?
How did you learn English?
I get it. Isakodimo. Yeah.
Yebo. No,
yeah.
No,
yeah.
Sure.
Strong. Yeah.
What's the meaning like English?
Okay.
Yeah.
Historically, so.
Yeah. Historically in South Africa, as the black majority, there's our fifth time in a voter. Because the first time it was 94, whereby Mr. Nelson Mandela became our first black president. 1999, Thabo Mbeki. 2004, is it 2004? 2004, that's when Thabo Mbeki again did he presided two times. 2004, 2009, it was Mr. Zuma.
That's the
midterm. We didn't vote. I'm thinking about voting. He just got in. Then 2009 came Mr. Getley. I know it might not be the fifth. 2019, that's when Ramaphosa was voted in. So this is our sixth. So sorry about my calculation.
Yeah.
So this is a sixth time, sixth leg vote as black people. based from apartheid government, you know, so where we didn't have this right to rise in popularity in terms of voting. So now our people, our black people, loyalty, I think, is based on the first man, of which is the ruling party. So there's a level of loyalty for those who've walked this struggle that they still have for ANC government.
Yeah.
So and it's based on those values for them, but they've worked the struggle. Mostly people so finally that thing for now we can never lose these people because people who because they are DP, they can mention other things. But the turnaround the youth or people value for now let's see our age group. They're more on a research based. Why was this voted in? What happened? So no last and now we got other options. Like your EFFs, but I got that radicality for now. ANC they lost their momentum because of this and this and this. So now there's a rising youth value for no okay now we don't need this because ANC they failed on the service delivery. What not, and the list is long. So now we are like a new breed of people who are interested into politics, of which you never challenge the first party, of which came into the ruling system, ANC. So it's interesting to see that happen. For okay, old go with the old, in with the new. So it's interesting. I couldn't get to vote because I didn't register. I'm registered in Bloemfontein. So the registration period and the was somewhere else. And I get to register. I couldn't vote because I was not in that space. So that actually didn't cover in terms of me customer vote. So it's a now I read the manifestos. I've read most of the manifestos from your new Action SA, Rise Africa, PA, Kenny Mackenzie, Gaten Mackenzie. I read a lot so that I can see, because I need to understand the idea. After getting the idea, what is your vision for the Greater South Africa? What is it for South Africans? I've read the building one South Africa. So I read a lot of the ideologies from PAC, all of those Azapo, like I read a lot so that I can see from which one actually speaks to me. Which ideology supports where the Greater South Africa has to be. So there's a lot of contradiction. And I'll check out these other political parties, most of them, they are from the Greater ANC, IFP, your UDM, your EFF, your Mkhondwesi, they are all the brainchild of ANC. So there's still a little the cope. There's a lot. So I couldn't vote, but if I were to vote, I would have casted for EFF because they have a youthful mind, they're very radical, and they're very they speak to me mostly rather than others. So in terms of a coalition, I would opt for 3. Because ANC needs to have a challenge because they do they debate most of the time. So we need someone that's going to be a greater opposition. And I check historically, every brainchild, ANC is always making it to the top 3. Hope it became top 3. EFF became top 3. MK became top 3,
which is basically ANC.
And of which DA going the middleman, the link. So it shows for if majority of people are black and there's a minority of white people who people are voting on DA.
Yes.
It's simple. Black people. And why are they voting? Because the frustration from the ANC government. There's okay, you know what? Apartheid system was beneficial to us. So they still have those things for them. I know another apartheid, there were these benefits. There's jobs, there's what. So we need these people in power so that they can shackle the whole ANC system. So in terms of coalition, I think these two, Congress, CISO and EFF, might be beneficial because they speak to me personally and for the greater good of South Africa.
Okay, Tshepo.
Yeah, I'm gonna be low.
Yeah.
But guys, first and foremost, I want to go on the background of this politics.
Yeah,
The 29th of May 2024 national election. I think from my point of view, this was not an election for South Africans. This was not about elections.
Why is that?
Why? Good question. I mean, when I look at things, number one, our president has been decided by foreigners before we could vote. Why is that? Why is that? There was news that has said, and they said this in countless times, that the foreign investors, they don't want to invest in South Africa until after the elections. They first want to see who's becoming the president before they can invest. That was my issue number one. So if for some reason the votes were swinging in Malema's direction, we know who are the foreign investors. We don't have Mugi of Nigeria as a foreign investor in South Africa. They're investing in their own country. So Europeans, Australians, those are the people that regard themselves as a foreign investors in South Africa. The minority people. So now, if the policy Yamalema ya open borders would have won the elections, chances are these foreign investors, they wouldn't have invested in South Africa, which is a negative on its own. So my problem is, based on that, these people, they were given advantage to vote before us. I'm not sure if you are aware that the votings, the South Africans who are in a foreign lands, they voted before South Africans who are in South Africa before they vote. You understand? And the majority of the people who are in foreign lands are minority. The majority of the people who are in South African land are the minority. So our decision as South Africans, majority people, has been taken by the minorities. That's why you find that a South African in Australia has voted a week before we vote. A South African in England, in China, wherever, they voted before we as South African vote. So meaning our voters swing in a direction that they want. You get what I'm saying? So my vote, it was a addition on their vote, which I think is a negative on our government. And if that is how they proceed as South African policy, as the good policy, it's not good policy. Especially not for black South Africans. You get what I'm saying? I'm still to be corrected on this. Go and check for me if there's any American who voted before the Americans who was living in South Africa. You will definitely not gonna find that. Why is it that it's done in South Africa? That is the best issue for me. You get what I'm saying? That addition with why the investors had pulled out of investing in South Africa before the elections so that they would see who becomes the president. Number two, I'm coming to African National Congress. I'm saying this because I said to you guys, I have a different view and my view is personal. You'll forgive me for that.
No,
my view is personal.
Sure.
The destroying of African National Congress, we are saying that, African National Congress deserve to learn a lesson. This is not a black decision. This is not our decision. If I think I voted for DA to destroy ANC, I did not destroy ANC. ANC was destroyed in 1985. This has been a strategical plan of minority elites to destroy ANC from within. You get what I'm saying? How do we do that? Let's divide the ANC itself. That is because they knew that ANC is united and they fought for apartheid united. Let me ask you a simple question, Motlatsi. Who are the people, how much it worth to contest on the national votes? Let's not be specific on figures, but it goes to millions of rands. Like your canvassing, posters, t-shirts, all those things, accommodation, meals, and all those logistics, they go to millions of rands. Who are the people that are funding political parties to contest on these votes? Because specifically, black people don't have that money. You get what I'm saying? Where is the ANC getting the money? That's the government money. That's why they are able to contest on that. You understand? And you get the stories that all these other political parties were funded by these minority elites, which are the people that want to destroy the African National Congress. So my point is, even if we want to teach ANC a lesson, but ANC loss is a black man's loss. Because we have these political parties that are being opened by black people in different. You haven't said, you haven't heard a DA opening another DA party. Why is that? For the past 30 years, we have had 3 minority parties: DA, AfriForum, and we just said Freedom Front Plus and Freedom Front Plus.
AfriForum is a leg from Freedom Front Plus.
It's only 2.
And
it's only 2.
How
How many black political parties do we have?
I cannot count.
You get what I'm saying? So that's on its own. And where are they coming from? We come into the, you just said it. Where are they coming from?
From ANC.
They come from ANC. It is the decision. That's what I'm saying. This was not decided now. This was decided in 1985. That's when ANC was still active in politics. Forcing one man, one vote. You understand? Forcing one man, one vote. So, for this to be done, I remember when de Klerk was still alive and the President Ramaphosa voted into presidency. This is his statement, and I quote: "If Ramaphosa do as he have promised, South Africa would be in good hands," unquote. Why did he say that? Having said that, Oppenheimer's child, I can't remember the first name, but Oppenheimer's child, in one of their farming seminars and all those things, he said, like, "I thought South Africa was lost. Thanks that Ramaphosa is the president." Give me one famous black person who said, "Thank you, they voted for Ramaphosa." Not between me and you on the local ground. Let's talk about the upper person who has more ultimate powers. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Give me one person who said, "We want to be, we really love, we're taking the ANC people out because the ANC people are the one that can't trust that for you." I'm talking about some people that are not in politics, but they have influential power.
Not many. I can't recall one. Yeah.
Now, it comes to my point. Why do we have the situation where we had? Why are the 2 previous presidents before Ramaphosa were removed? There's no president who finished their term. That came before him. Actually, not all of them. Not all of them, because even Mandela didn't finish his term. But leaving, it was out of his own free will, because he felt like physically I still had that power, so I need to step down. So there's no black president in the past 30 years that did a full term. All of them, they were removed. You get what I'm saying? Thabo Mbeki was removed by Malema via Zuma. Zuma was removed by Ramaphosa. You get what I'm saying? All of them were removed. You get what I'm saying? So this is thing that the fight that we have within the ANC, it is not our fight, and it was not generated by us. And we think that we are destroying ANC because we want to see development. Let's wait until other people get the power, guys. You will see that what we have right now, first and foremost, we know that ESCOM is what it is because they want to privatize it. Now let's talk about the privatization of electricity. If you have followed, we follow the great countries in the world. You know, I want to be specific with one: the United States of America. The electric supply in United States of America, it's privatized. You know how they're doing it? If you don't pay your electricity, they shut it out. Same as water. If you don't pay your water, they shut it out. And over the last 10 years, how is the pricing on our electricity? It has skyrocketed. It is almost 200% increase. That's where ESCOM they want it to be. We get what I'm saying? That is where ESCOM they want it to be. Why? Because majority of our coal supply, it's supplying other countries. We are suffering, but we are supplying other countries. And the very same countries that we are supplying, they're coming and telling us that you need to go green. You know, you need to go green. But they're not going green because they're still using coal from South Africa. You got what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, guys. My point of view on this is gonna be different. No. Let me finish on the coalition. The coalition is good and it's bad. With the fact that if ANC collided with EFF, there are disadvantages because I know EFF has said to ANC, it's in an angle, they're going to watch in an angle saying, when we wanted to pass a law on expropriation of land, you didn't take our votes.
Yeah.
Why would you want?
Yeah.
Why would you want to collaborate with us?
Yeah.
And ANC would not want to collaborate with EFF because they want to open borders. And which is another story on its own. Of which, if I can dwell too much on it, it's going to take time. Like, it's another story on its own. If you check what Malema, which borders Malemas are opening, that we as black people are opposing. You get what I'm saying? Malema wants to open borders for black people to maneuver around the continent. We are against that. But when you go to Europe, there are no borders in Europe. You get what I'm saying? There are you can go from Switzerland to Germany without any hassle. There's no visa, there's nothing.
Just
you get what I'm saying? Now, the thing is, we are told that if we allow the Zimbabweans to come to South Africa, we're going to be overpopulated. Gauteng on its own, with South Africans alone, it's overpopulated.
True.
Gauteng on its own, it's overpopulated. You get what I'm saying? With this concept of media telling us we can't open the borders because the foreigners are going to come here and sell drugs. Africans are not manufacturing drugs, guys. You follow the media, you know where my drugs are manufactured. We don't manufacture cocaine. We might say Nigerians are selling drugs. They are selling drugs. They are not manufacturing drugs.
Where do these drugs?
South American countries are the ones that are manufacturing drugs. You get what I'm saying? And they get these drugs. Whether you like it or whether the Nigerians are going to come here or not going to come here, the drugs are going to get in the country. That's a fact.
They've been.
They've been.
The cartels.
You get what I'm saying? They've been.
Yeah.
You know, it's an interesting view, and it's very interesting because now what you just said, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about what you said. A white person, firstly, Ramaphosa has never, he's the only person that has never been removed. Realistically speaking, he's the worst president. Realistically speaking, the country is going down under Ramaphosa, but he has never been, he's not removed. I mean, why would a white person celebrate Ramaphosa's win? What do you think is that?
I just want to say a lyric from Momoli. He says, why these cops never search the white boys with the drugs? I tell you what, it's easy to
have your own people.
Because
especially
apartheid
sequence.
Exactly. And then supporting that with Malcolm X said. Supporting that with what Malcolm X said. Malcolm X said, if you see one of your own is loved by your oppressors, just know that it's no longer one of your own. You get what I'm saying? If you see one of your own that you've been in struggle with has been supported by your oppressors, just know it's no longer one of your own.
That's his cousin. So are you saying that there could be some truths with what Malema has been saying about the Oppenheimers?
Mr. Samora Machel, if ever you see my oppressor praise me, just know for another time.
Exactly. Thanks, Motlatsi. Yeah, bon. Malema, I'm going to phrase them as claims because there's no court cases and all those things. Malema's allegations or alleged statements, he said he has proof. He said he has proof. And what we are discussing is something that is on the public platform. We're not discussing secrets here. It's something that he said publicly, that the Oppenheimers are controlling the economy. than the BS are controlling the economy. You get what I'm saying? So now, the biggest question that would rise is when are black people gonna get piece of the pie? You get what I'm saying? When are we gonna get piece of the pie? Because right now, Rejamaritza will interfere. You get what I'm saying? Rejamaritza will interfere, yes it is. The decision of the presidency, the system, the democratic system is not as democratic as we think it is. This is the system. Remember where I wanna give a light background on where the system comes from. Before the democratic system, there were two systems. There was a oppression and slavery system, which was created by Queen Elizabeth and England. And then it went for a couple of 100 years. And then after that, they needed someone to keep on going with the same system. And the Afrikaners, they told Queen Elizabeth that we will keep the system. And then this was given to them. And they created the apartheid. They kept the same concept that Queen Elizabeth, that black people need to be oppressed. You get what I'm saying? And they created apartheid. And when they created apartheid, they uplifted Africans. Bella guys, Afrikaners were nothing during the 1800s and 1700s. You get what I'm saying? They were nothing during the 1800s and 1700s. But jumping to the 1900s, you see the Afrikaner community going up. You get what I'm saying? Why? Because they took everything that England had and they converted everything into Afrikaans and to accommodate their own. But they kept the very same concept. Now, here's the third term. We have democracy. Queen Elizabeth still wants to keep the very same system that he created. And I think this is where, as Mandela is great as he is, Mandela was old. I think this is where we have allowed an old man to make decisions for us. You get what I'm saying? Mandela has done a great job, and I applaud Mandela for his job. By the time 94, when decisions was made, Mandela was old. And they based their decision on what Mandela has said. And Mandela, at that time, he was so tired because he's been running, has been tortured, he has built rocks, for 27 years. You understand? But now, this is what Mbeki said recent years, that African National Congress in 1993 during Codesa negotiations, they have compromised a lot. They were focusing on one thing, and Mandela was focusing on one thing. One man, one vote. Because Mandela knew that the black people are majority. If we vote, we give one man, one vote. The calculations that they did, they knew that we were going to win elections. But then the white people, they came to him and said, okay, you want to take democracy, we'll give you democracy. But bear in mind, you're going to leave this and this and this and this. What is this and this and this and this? You're not going to nationalize the mines and the banks. Because that's what Freedom Charter said. EFF taking the nationalization from the ANC. You're not going to and infiltrate the suburbs where people are staying. You're not going to instigate war. So, for sure that you're not going to instigate a war, you need to dismantle Umkhonto weSizwe. Not MK, the original Umkhonto weSizwe. You get what I'm saying? Hence, there's a statement, say, the former General Umkhonto weSizwe, Chris Hani, said he was so heartbroken that Mandela has taken a decision to dismantle Umkhonto weSizwe without talking to him. And at that time, Aiseng, they were jumping Zambezi River coming to South Africa with bombs and gas to come and fight. When Mandela had made a statement that the military wing of the African National Congress is automatically dismantled. That's the most important part of Umkhonto weSizwe that we should have kept to this day. Because Umkhonto weSizwe, it was not only about fight. Only what we call Mkhabulo, where they were teaching people about the Africans. Why is it good to be African? You get what I'm saying? So, dismantling Umkhonto weSizwe on its own, it was a negative for us. It was a downfall for us. It was a point where we would not have power to come and fight. We still don't have power to come and fight. That's why we're still using the very same system that they have. The police that we have, they are not our police. Because the system that they apply is not our system. The soldiers that we have, they are not our soldiers. Because the system that they're applying is not our system. You get what I'm saying? You have a system where Melinfield Chabalala has said this. He was a member of the military wing at that time. He has said when the government took over, the majority of the senior positions were white people. Your generals, your major generals, you know. And then that hierarchy in the low, that's when you had soldiers, your normal soldiers. Even today, in normal companies, you still have that. Your directors, your CEO, your CFOs are still the minority people. Your middle management are still minority people. It's only when you get to the lower management and the lower positions where you find the majority of black people.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So now if you check the destroying of this, of the so-called democracy is destroyed. This is to me, this is not a democracy. You know, yes, we are casting our votes. They are counting our votes. And check this. There's one stat that is overwhelming that I've read. The news said, and I stand to be corrected on this. The news said there are 80 million people in South Africa. 40 million registered to vote. 20 million voted. There are 80 million in South Africa. 40 million registered to vote. Only 20 voted. Now, you want to tell me
60 million.
You want to tell me 20 million people has made decision for 60 million people. Is that minority rule or majority rule?
It's a minority.
It's a minority rule. You get what I'm saying? That simply implies my vote. The three of you did not vote. I voted. And my decision was for the three of you. So is that democracy?
No.
We are talking about coalition governments right now. We are talking about coalition governments. You get what I'm saying? That coalition government, I'm closing when I say that coalition government on its own, automatically we have a fight.
It's a doom to fail.
It's a doom to fail.
Yeah.
Already it's a doom to fail. Because bear in mind, number one, MK, they might talk with the ANC, but MK, they have their own policies. Which I think they are outrageous with their policies. They want their own kingdom of the Zululand with their own currency and all those things. We are struggling with or running as it is right now. So if we have another kingdom of the Zulu with their currency and everything, you know, we are dividing the country.
Yeah,
we are dividing the country. And that gives the power to the Kwankwe Yabasoto to come and say, look, we want our own kingdom, Yabasoto. Where's the unity of black people on that? Exactly. Where's the unity of the people on that? You get what I'm saying? You have the African National Congress now going to people and beg them for their votes. Let's try to have the coalition on this. Okay, the African National Congress is gonna have coalition with Gaten Mackenzie in Northwest. And then with coalition, obviously with coalition, I need a representation on the senior level. You need a representation on the senior level. So we need to have, when we are colliding, let's go to the national level. If ANC and EFF decide to collide on a national level, they need to have a president from one country and they need to have a deputy from the other country. As it is, we know that the Polista ANC and the Polista EFF, they are interclashing. So now it comes to the point that these people will be able to govern us if themselves they can't sit down on the same table and eat together. You get what I'm saying? We will not govern together if we are fighting. And there's a meme that I saw that said, if brothers are fighting, the foreigners will take their land. Definitely. Now, who will govern South Africa if the very same political parties are fighting? You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it comes to a point where infiltration comes from a DAC, a divide and conquer.
Yes.
So now they conquer it because now the Africans, or South Africans in this context, we have different tribes.
Yeah.
So now the Zulu, Basotho, whatsoever. So if that division on its own, Ebola, the greater South Africa, because now if they have their own kingdom, It's no longer a country.
It's no longer. It's not even our decision.
It's not even our
It's
decision.
not even our decision.
So I want to hear from the people on the comment section, what's their take on everything that I'm doing and how do they view all this South Africa from now we are under. Because now it's under scrutiny and we need to have a president because the votes have been out. The state is there.
Yeah.
So what's the best solution at this moment? Based on everything that we just shared. Just people in the comment section, share this and engage with us on different platforms and tell us your scope of work. And in conclusion?
I have one question. Well, I don't really have a closure. I'm just going to keep an open mind and see what happens. This is the most interesting elections we've had. Coalition. Interesting. I'm just going to be that person that looks at what happens. Where to from now? I have one question. Do you think we're going to have a great collapse
of the economy?
The greater South Africa.
Yes. There was something that was said on the news about a great collapse, about possibly load shedding going to almost more than 13 hours a day.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to have load shedding of 13 hours a day out of 24, that could lead to total shutdown of the grid of the country. I mean, imagine if you're going to go to 13 hours of no electricity out of 24 hours. Yeah. What are the chances of that happening? And it was speculated right after the elections. Do you think we're going to have that?
No. You know what? There was one sole political party that was making a decision for that. Now we are transiting into the coalition government. And if you take Herman Mashaba, for example, Action SA, Mr. Fix It. Herman Mashaba wants to put political party high in good names with the South Africans, so that tomorrow they will vote for him as well. You get what I'm saying? Now, if Action SA and the ANC, they would collide, let's say for example in Egulule, Herman Mashaba will make sure that there's no load shedding. That's when I'm saying their interaction. If ANC wants to implement load shedding for whatever reason, they're gonna tell you, look man, Midupi power generator number 7 has died and power generator number 8 is under maintenance, so we have 2 grids, so we have 150 kilowatt that we cannot supply, so we need to implement stage 2 load shedding. They're gonna no.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? South Africans right now, they have an advantage of getting full electrical power because of coalition. As much as it comes to what I was gonna say, I'm not sure if I should already close right now. With ANC, as much as I've protected, if you realize I've protected them the whole episode.
Conversation, yeah.
As much as I've protected them the whole episode, they have shot themselves on the foot. Because I'm gonna give you a practical example out of the politics. Let's go to forecasting. There was SABC, there was a DSTV. You get what I'm saying? I don't know, now we are advertising people now. There was SABC, there was DSTV. DSTV was expensive when I grew up. You couldn't buy dish. You understand? A normal channel that we can afford right now to pay was going to 2,000 something when I grew up. And then the ANC, they said, this is our people. They are poor, they won't pay a DSTV. So they are bound to watch SABC. You get what I'm saying? And then the finance on DSTV declined, and they needed a more viewership. And now their marketing strategy was, we need to tap in the market that we never tapped in before, which is what? The poor people. Now what they did was, they took the accounts of DSTV and they break them out. You would get, previously DSTV had one account with all the channels that will go to 2021. You get what I'm saying? Now you have compact, you have premium, you get what I'm saying? is what you can afford. You go with less 150 a month. You know what happened? The minority of people flocked to the DSTV. And people stopped paying the TV license. You get what I'm saying? ANC, they have that tendency of saying or thinking undermining the black South Africans that this is our people.
We know that.
We know them. They will not do anything. This is our people. They're gonna vote for us. You get what I'm saying? As much as I have protected them, they have shot themselves in the foot. The issue of load shedding, these are rumors, guys. I myself, I'm gonna talk about something that really I myself has taken from the news, that there are certain people who are interested in buying our electrical grid supply. That's why they want to advertise it. So, because of that, Malema has said, they bring load shedding on purpose so that we can normally say, you know what, let them advertise it so that we can get electricity. And then the prices will go to 500% hike. You get what I'm saying? So now, my point is, Aiseng, the South Africans, they have an advantage. That's why there was a statement that was released when people were start saying, immediately after the elections, we're going to have load shedding, There was no talks of load shedding from ESCOM. But the people believed that ANC is going to bring load shedding immediately because they were giving us electricity so that we can vote for them. You get what I'm saying? So there was talks that we're going to have load shedding, immediately after that. And then that's when the statement was issued that load shedding is still suspended to this day. You get what I'm saying? Because we still had power supply. What I am emphasizing is ANC, they are not sole deciders right now of ESCOM and everything that's happening. With coalition government, it's a plus for South Africans to get full electricity. 24/7, 7 days a week, 365.
Which is what we desire.
Which is what we desire. This is what we desire.
So from now on, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for viewership. Thank you for engaging with us. Thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing, and all of that. So this is one of the best episodes because now we took another different turn about the political landscape in South Africa. I want to say thank you, Jerry, for coming through, man, and being here and sharing your knowledge and asking those relevant, interesting questions about
interrogating us.
Exactly. Where is the South Africa headed to? And thank you, Mr. Sempapalele, for bringing that much valued information and give us another insight that we never thought of. And thank you for everyone who's been tuning in. For now, was the best solution now.
Comments.
Do those comments, share, like, subscribe. We'll see you on the flip side. Thank you, gentlemen. This was interesting.
Good.
Peace.
Thanks.